everybody. So it's come a flood on us. It's come a snow, it's winds blowing out of the northwest, probably at times 30-mile-an-hour wind chills, probably in the teens. They're gonna be hard to find today. Hopefully, what I'm gonna look for is a shad like I normally do, but I'm gonna have to find it on the northwest bank. When I say that, I mean, if I find it on the southeast bank, the wind's gonna be blowing so hard down there that I won't be able to fish. I mean, it's a cooking today. I'm just up here again a bluff right now to where I can make this. I'm pretty confident I can find fish. It's my home lake. I fished it I don't remember. I was so young whenever I started fishing it, I don't remember. So I'm just gonna catch a batch of channel cat to eat and show y'all how I get on them on a day like today. They're gonna be a little difficult to find, but I think we can do it. I will see y'all here directly. All right, guys, I think I might have found a place we can fish. I'm gonna run back through it. I kind of run through it on the way down here, and I was like, man, that'll be a good place, but I'm gonna show y'all what I'm looking at. So the wind's coming from that direction right there, and it's blowing hard. So that river channel cuts and makes a bend right there. And then we got the current washing down through here like that. So right here in this bend, the wind ain't blowing near as hard as it is everywhere else. So I'm gonna circle back through that bend. We got this deep hole right here in a narrow place in the river channel. That means the current's blowing through there pretty good. So I'm gonna make a circle and go back up through there, see what kind of shad's laying down there on the bottom, and probably drop an anchor right there. If it's plumb full of shad, then I'm gonna fish there. Right now I'm heading right into the wind and right into the current. And right there to my left is that deep hole. So I'm gonna put her on 2D, see what's down there on the bottom. We can see we're dropping off into that deep hole now. And it looks to me like it's got the shad about it. And that's, in the wintertime, folks, that's where you want to fish, is wherever you can find them shad like that. And any kind of anomaly, see, they're so thick in there, it's reading the shad as the bottom. So now, I'm gonna keep going upwind until I get on this flat where I can drop an anchor on this flat and let the tail end of the boat go back into that river channel. I'm gonna put her back in 2D. So it's probably 25 foot deep and we're reading the bottom at 12 foot. I wanna go over to the left just a hair. But see, now then we're starting to get a reading on the bottom at 16 foot. So I'm gonna back off a little bit, hit reverse, get the momentum of the boat going back downstream, and drop an anchor. I feel good about this place, I really do. It's got a lot of current to it. I'm just gonna drop the anchor, let everything get lined out and go to throwing poles. God dog, that's wet. See, that anchor didn't drop in very deep of water. That's what I wanted. I'm gonna let that frozen rope get on out. Let her get tight. Let the boat swing around. And go to throwing poles. Like I said, I feel pretty good about this place. It's out of the wind. It's got the fish to it. I didn't know it was here, but when I done the opening, I was up there on the bank to where I could talk and do stuff. Now then, I'm gonna tie this one off. I'm gonna get my back anchor down. Now then, the bad thing about fishing out of the wind on a windy day is the wind swirls. So the end result is you gotta have 2 anchors down. Boys, it's cold. Woo! See, I got the anchor is in about 14 foot of water. The back of the boat's in 18 foot. So we're right there on that drop off. And that's where I wanted. Put this up here where it won't get wet. I've got so much junk. I wanted this to lay my electronics on because the boat's so full of snow. Now that I'm gonna drop this back here. You don't necessarily have to have this back anchor in a situation like that. It just always makes it more stable. Now then, I'm gonna go up front and pull the anchor up there tight. It'll draw this boat down like that and make it tighter. I probably ain't gonna take a whole lot out of this rope. That's about right there. Now this boat should hold unless we get a 30-mile-an-hour gust through here, which is possible. Get my cutting board and get my shad rolling. Find my shad. Hopefully they ain't froze. I'm gonna use smaller pieces of bait today just because I'm after channel cat. I'm gonna get 4 or 5 laid out there. Throw this back over here in the snow. I'm probably going to use straight head pieces unless they're biting really hard. Now I use a different setup out here doing this than I do in the rivers. I use a 7/0 hook and 2 3/4-ounce sinkers and 20-pound mono and about 1.5 foot no float and like real light rods. I do that because these channel cat bite real sluggish like. And I just hook that shad through the eyeballs like that and send him. I'm gonna throw one out on the ledge over to the left. Let it sink to the bottom. And I'm just gonna stagger them poles down through there just like that. I'm gonna run 3 poles until I go to biting such as what I can not keep up with 3 poles. Now then, I'm gonna put my hands in my pockets to let them warm up. And these fish in this lake's real timid. They might not bite with them waves. That's the reason why I kind of threw them way out there. They might not bite with these waves hitting the front of this boat. Of course, I'm already getting impatient. You just gotta remember, them fish is gonna be anywhere them shad are this time of year. Left hand pole. Now, since I'm using head pieces, I'll go ahead and leave that set. And he kind of slammed it for a channel cat. Right hand pole just got a bite. I believe we're gonna sit here and have some fun, boys. It's how I learned how to catfish, fooling with these channel cat on these lakes. Blue cat do the same thing. The only thing is when you're fishing blue cat waters, the blue cat's the apex predator. Well, here, channel cat are the apex predator. Well, besides your flathead, but you won't catch very many of them this time of year. Once in a great while, you'll get a hold of one. I'm gonna have to put my hood up. My ears are freezing. There you go. He hit it again right there. And you never know, them lines might have been so slack I couldn't see every bite. Because when I reeled it in, that center... I think that's the deal. I couldn't see the bites because my lines was so slack. On these cold days, when you set your hook on a fish, always pull out your line to make sure the drag's working right. Not that we'll get anything monstrous today, but we're apt to get some 10-pounders. And boys, that's the deal. My line, look at that ice freezing up on the end of that rod. My lines was so loose I couldn't see the bites. So that every one of them poles has had a bite on it since I reeled that slack out of it. Good eating size channel cat. If I can keep him out of the anchor rope. That's what we're after right there at 4-pound channel cat. Anywhere you can find shad in a lake like this, like that. And I ain't talking about little schools of shad, I'm talking about the monstrous big balls of shad is where you're gonna find fish. First eating size channel cat of the day. Go about 3 pounds. Now look how full that fish is, how he's been just sitting there gorging himself on them shad. I thought we had another fish on another pole. I'm gonna put this dip net over here. Just like that. Check this shad out and see if I can throw her back out. I don't see why I can't. Make sure everything ain't froze up. Right hand pole's going down, going down. Guys, I don't care what anybody says. This is a lot of fun whenever you're out here doing this on these little poles. Now, I love catching big blue as much as anybody, but there's just some days you can't get on the river. So being versatile is another key factor. Doggies are going down. Oh, he come off. God dang it. Center pole. I'm just gonna lay this one up here. That way my shad can freeze on it. Did that fish come off that center pole? Another good eating size channel cat. He's 9 kinds of wound up. Get out of that motor. All right, calm down. I'm gonna get the dip net after him before I lose him. Well, we got another fish going on back there. That dog, he's going on. Oh, shoot. For some reason, my spool come loose. Probably froze. Ice freezing up in the end of that rod. I think my camera's pointed at the sky. I'm gonna get my dip net after him. Nabbing, I've only got one pole in the water. Another good eating size channel cat. Boys, whenever it's cold like this, nothing works right. See, he's gotten tangled up around his fin right there. All right, throw that over out my way. Throw that back down there. Throw that down in there. Throw that back out there. Go to work back on this one that's hooked down here. I got it. Whew. My hands are froze. I've got to check this hook, make sure that it's all right. I'm gonna throw body pieces now that I know they're biting pretty hard when they do bite. Got everything in a mess. Like I said, it's so cotton picking cold, everything's freezing up on me. So my new camera holds battery power a lot better. I like that. We've got 3. We need 7 more. And it's acting like that they ain't gonna like reused bait. So we're having a slack moment. I'm gonna cut bait. So this has got old bait on it. I'm gonna reel it in and put fresh bait on it. Sometimes in the wintertime, you got to keep fresh bait on them, even when they're biting fast and hard. Well, it ain't got no bait on it. Center pole. Center pole's going on down. Ice freezing up in the eyes of my poles again. Another nice channel cat. That's a nice channel cat there. Like I said, there's some good ones in here. And today's the day that the bigger ones bite. When it's so miserable you can't handle it. That's a good channel cat there. nabbing. What all we got going on our rods? So this lake's raising and got a lot of fresh water in it running into it too. That helps a lot. They've kind of slowed down. I think I'm about ready to move. Truth be known, they probably ain't got no bait on them 2 poles that was just sitting there while I was messing with that fish. So I'm gonna reel that left-hand pole in and check bait on it. I'm gonna check this camera. Yeah, we got plenty of juice left in it. I've got a slip frozen mess back here. I can't tell if it's got bait on it or not, but I'm gonna freshen it up anyway. It does not have no bait on it. So them balls of shad that I run over, that big bale of shad just right here behind the boat. And that bend is right here, like this, and that deep hole's over here to the right. And there's a little jag of current coming off this flat in front of us. And it just, I guess all them shad piled up there. It's important to stay hydrated on these hot days. Can't tell if he's still on that pole or not. Center pole's going back down. Aggravating son of a gun. I got him finally. Left-hand pole's getting a bite on it again. They can't bite one at a time. They gotta bite 3 or 4 to whack. He's hooked good. I'm just gonna bring him up over the boat so I don't have to jack with the dip net. Well, he come off. That was a bad idea on my part. I bet you that I'm gonna have to go cut some bait again. So I'm gonna do that in this calm because they're not liking the body pieces as well as I do the heads. I thought I heard something back here popping around. Maybe it was this pole. Don't know. See, I've switched over to mostly head pieces and the bite frequencies went back up. I'll be using my dip net on him. Because if I keep letting them get off, then I'm gonna not have a mess of fish. He's kind of coming up there to the top back there. That might be a little bit bigger of a fish. It's hard to say on these little poles. He's behind the motor. I can't see him. I don't think he's no monster. About like the size I've been catching. He's bound determined to get around that motor. Well, here we go with one on the right-hand pole. That's a little bit bigger of a fish. Nice one. I gotta tell you what, whenever it's cold, everything gets tangled up. I'm gonna go to changing out batteries on cameras. My main camera's got about 10 more minutes on it, so I'm gonna leave it go. I about slid. Say that one right there probably ain't got no bait on it. Well, it need to be freshened up anyway. It's all muddy. All right, back to fishing. I keep hitting my motor with that Uh-oh. Doggone. This ice on the bottom of the boat's trying to thaw, and then it's freezing. And I guess I got fish slime down there. I don't know, that's slicker than dog crap. One of these days, I'll quit fishing long enough to build me a shed to put my boat in. But work ain't no fun. Providing to be hard to hook again. This pole here ain't got a bite on it in a long time. I'll reel it in and check the bait. It feels like it's got bait. I kinda launched it. Boys, we made contact with a good one, I think. Well, hard to say. I might have just thought it was bigger. Still a nice eating size fish. Get him out of that dip net before he rolls around, don't it? Find the hook down in him. Nice 5-pound channel cat. He's a hair bigger than them others. We got 6. We need 4 more real quick while we're sitting here. I'm gonna launch this one again. I think they're getting wise to the boat being here. Kind of starting to flurry a little. Oh boy. Thought it was gonna come a snowstorm there for a second, but it stopped pretty quick. This one's a little smaller. Still a good eating size fish. Uh-oh. Dip net's froze. Another good 3-pound channel cat, good eating. Y'all notice how that pole that I'm winging way out there is getting more bites? They've wisened up to this boat being here. Let's see, we've got 4, 7. We need 3 more. So what I'm probably gonna do is reel this pole in to the left. It's one of my better throwing poles. And send it out there with that one. If this gust of wind that's blowing 30 miles an hour right now don't take off with us. Them Cat River anchor's a flat hole. Put that in full send mode, get it out there. Now then, I'm gonna reel this pole into my left and send it out there with that one. Like I said, after a little bit, they'll get used to, or not, they'll run off from a boat in this lake. Probably gonna freshen up that bait. Hell, yeah. You get used to throwing 8 ounces of weight. Look at that ice all froze up in that reel. You get used to throwing all that weight, and then you get out here with 1 1/4 ounce weight, and everything's strained. But the lighter weight that you can get away with using, the more fish you catch. Now then, if I was fishing in 35, 40 foot of water, I'd probably be up there on a 2 ounce weight. But I think I use 2 3/4 ounces out here in this shallow lake. And it's always provided for me. Now, I use 2 3/4 ounce because I use real light poles, and the bigger sinker drags more on the rod when you're reeling it in. The reason why I use light poles because it makes it funner to catch the fish. And it increases the hook set in my book on these light biting channel cat. What has happened is them fish has heard this boat, and we've sat here so long that they've moved out. Now we could move either up or downstream of here and get right back on them if we wanted to. But I got a mess of fish. We've caught I don't know how many we've caught today. We should have had our limit, but I let 2 or 3 go. And hopefully it don't come so much snow and all that crap, I can get to a boat ramp on my next day off. If not, it'll be a week and a half before I get to go again. But I do have a vacation coming up. The 1st of March. And I'm gonna go do a couple different things. I'm gonna go to Wilson Lake in Alabama. And I'm gonna hunt fish on the Mississippi and find some big ones on the Mississippi. But I've always wanted to fish Wilson Lake. But I want to hit that Wilson Lake before the summertime so I get an idea of what's in it. They say there's some big ones in there. There are big ones everywhere, but it's a place I've yet to fish. I knew I'd get one of those here directly. He come off. I might not get another. Here, like I said, I know I could move. I know I could move and get right back on them. But I personally don't want to jack with them frozen anchor ropes, because as soon as they get up in the boat, they're gonna freeze. I think that left-hand pole is gonna get hooked here before too long. One of them will get hooked. They're all three getting nibbles. Freezing up, guys. That pole is freezing up. That dog. Look at it freezing up in the reel. It's gotten a little bit colder because they wasn't freezing up that bad. Another good eating size channel cat. I was trying to get another one. We still ain't got no great big channel cat out of here this year yet. Of course, I hadn't fished it in a year or so since when I started making these videos out here. I think I'm gonna go for another one. Just wells do. 4, we got 8. Well, we got another one. I ain't got no place to set this other pole. Alright. I got this in my hand. I'm just gonna reel on him. Well, guys, I think I'm just gonna sit here and get one more. That way I can say I got my limit. Yeah, I don't see where it'll hurt anything. Another good eating size channel cat. Now then, I've got a mess made here. I'm gonna put body pieces on them just so I don't have to cut no more shad in it being cold. All right, back to fishing. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna call it. I had a lot of fun today. I showed y'all what I do on a bad day. I don't necessarily not ever fish due to the inclement weather, but I do things differently whenever it's like this. I look at my maps and I look at the weather, pay attention to the weather, and go from there. I would have went to the Mississippi today if I knew that the wind hadn't have been blowing this hard, but it was supposed to blow 20 to 25 with gusts up to 35. And I thought, well, I'll go up here in this lake in these hills, and I know I can for sure catch catfish up here, and it won't be near as bad. But we live and we learn. I will see y'all next time.